Hi everybody, and welcome back to Pain-Free Creations, Coaching and Conversations, where we do all three in a short amount of time. I'm Aubrey Payne, and today we are going to continue talking about ClassDojo. In particular, today we are talking about the basics, signing up, going ahead and getting your students, their names into the system, connecting their parents, and learning how to message parents, working out your settings, and adding a co-teacher. So pretty much the basics before you want to get started using it in the classroom. So if you're ready to start from square one, then this is the video for you. Okay, so we are going to start here with the ClassDojo basics. So if you have not even created a membership yet, you haven't signed up, your basic beginning first step is to choose what you are in your district. So if you're a teacher, you click here. If you are a parent and you want to use this for chores or to award your own kids, then you're a parent. If you're a kid or you want to have your students sign up, then you're going to have them click students. If you are not a teacher, parent, or student, you are a principal, or you are an instructional coach, an assistant principal, then those are other options for you. Click that, use your email, and sign up. So now I'm going to go to my page. One thing you want to do once you set up your class and your account is you want to make sure that you can connect to your school. So since I am a stay-at-home mom now, I don't have a school that I get to connect to. However, you still can. So in order for you to be able to sign up for your school, all you're going to do is, where on the top left here, it'll either ask you if you want to join a school, or if it doesn't, you can click where it has your personal classes and you can click add school. Once you do that, there is, so you can type in your school. Let's see what in a school. Okay, perfect. So let's say we're at Auburn Elementary in Auburn, Kansas. Okay, so I click that. Then one of the teachers who is already on ClassDojo, they have to approve that you're actually a teacher there. That helps avoid having students or others that jump onto the school create a teacher account. If there is no teacher that is using ClassDojo, then you'll be the first one. So you'll be in charge of kind of adding people as they go. So that's just something to think about when you are making it, is adding it to the school. Then all the parents that are signed up in your class, they'll get notifications from the school page on ClassDojo. If there's a teacher updating, you can update the school page if that's what you so wish. And then students, their names are added to that school so that when they go to the next class the next year, then the parents that are connected, that whole account just moves with the student and the teachers can just add that student to their class. So that I have here, so I have some old ones, so I'm going to go as if I am brand new. So none of these will be on here. And the first step that you're going to do is you're going to create a class. So you're going to click new class right here. Then you're going to type in your class name. So if I was teaching in the classroom again, I would say Mrs. Payne, class 24-25. I always put the year so that I can always keep track of which class of mine every year it was. So let's go second grade because that's the grade I taught the longest. And then I'm going to click create. So now you don't have to do this step next. I always just click I don't have co-teachers. And you can add those different teachers in later and we can cover that. So for now, you just click I don't have co-teachers. Let's just get everything set up. So you can scan names from the roster, but in a weird way, I honestly think adding students manually is easier. So I'm going to go ahead and add students. And notice it says first and last name. So you have to at least have your first name and last initial. Even if you do the first name and last name, on the screen when it's done, it only shows their first name. So I'm going to go ahead and type in. So if let's say I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to click add. So then okay, so I have my students. Let's say my class is a size 3. That'd be great. All right, so I'm going to click save. If other teachers use ClassDojo in your school and they have used your students in the past, you might type the name in and you might see that student's name come up, and then you can just choose their name. So I'm not enrolled in a school right now, so that is not an option for me. So I'm going to click save. So it says, let your students enjoy ClassDojo too. So I definitely encourage this. I think it is a great incentive. It is fun for the kids to get a chance to customize their monster, and it also is a great tool for them to turn stuff in, and I'll cover that here shortly. So I'm going to click I agree. Always read the notices and information and make sure that this is something that everybody's okay with. I know there are some districts that don't want you communicating with parents on here, and that's okay. That is something that you would just have to communicate to the parents then, that this is strictly to update them on their own child's behavior and so that they can see the work they're doing, but that if there's anything that they need communication wise, then it needs to be on the phone or email, the district email and phone. So it's just whatever your district preference is. So when I was teaching my district, they didn't mind us talking to parents through ClassDojo, and so I just always gave ClassDojo as an option. Some parents still called me, emailed me, but then there were some parents who were pretty active messaging me on ClassDojo. So one of the cool things when you set up, you have your kids' names here. So this is where I will go and I will type in the parent's email that I have on file and the phone number to invite. So I'm going to make up a number, and then I can click invite, and it'll send an invite to their phone and their email for them to connect. I also, at Meet the Teacher Night, I have my individual printouts. If I click that, I can choose what language. So in case you have some families who are not primarily English speakers, then you can have it printed out in Spanish, French, whatever you need. So then you're going to select you can just do all parents and click download. Then there's a handout, so you can view the printout. So now once you print these, this is what you can give to the parents. All they have to do is scan the QR code to sign up under their student. Now if a parent signs up, they will only see their student's monster and any activities or pictures that you post of their kid or their own child turns some work in on ClassDojo. So there's no laws, there's no law breaking here. The parents can only see their own child, and they cannot see any points of any other students or of the class. So that is important to just go ahead and say now. Okay, so now that I got it, I got my printouts, trying to get all my parents connected, and now I have my, you can do a welcome message to the parents and to your students if you wish. I'm just going to say pass for now. Actually, I'll just type something. Welcome to our classroom. So then you have the option of adding a photo, a video, a file, or a video. If you want to do a little welcome video and introduce yourself, or maybe the parents that didn't get to make it to Meet the Teacher Night, you can always do that. So I'm going to click post. You can also schedule it so that it's maybe on the first day of school. That's when you want to post it. Anyway, so I'm going to click there. And now I have my class ready. I've got my parents invited to join our classroom, and now it's ready to go. Now we're going to cover, now that we have the classroom set up and we have our parents invited, now we are going to kind of go over the different tabs on ClassDojo. I'm going to try to go very, very basic, and then eventually we'll get into some more of the deep stuff. So let's start with our tabs right here. So So Classroom will give you a view of everybody's monster. So you might be wondering, why are they eggs and not monsters? Well, as the students earn points at the very beginning, those points are going to hatch their eggs, and each of them is going to have a unique monster that later on, if a teacher wishes, if the teacher does not want to do it, you don't have to, but the students can go on and customize their monster. But they wait. It's kind of exciting for kids. Do they want to get those positive points, especially in the beginning, so that they can finally hatch their monster and see what they look like? So let's go to class story. So here is where the teacher can make announcements. The teacher can post pictures of activities and things that we're doing in the classroom. We might be silent reading outside. I might just take a quick picture of all the kids silent reading. You can, I think it's very important, you can go ahead, add photos and videos of your class. You can add an event. So you have, you can remind the parents of things that they have upcoming, which is super helpful. And you can add files. So maybe there's a snow day and the kids, someone forgot their homework packet, or you want to give them a choice board to do. You can upload your file on here so the parents have instant access and students to it. This is used only to talk to parents. So I might click, so unfortunately I don't have anybody. Let's see, let me go to one of my other classes real quick just so I can show you. Okay, so if I go to chats and I choose somebody, I have a message that I sent out, and this is here. Make sure you read the privacy promise as well. So you can message parents, you can send them files. Maybe the parents aren't comfortable with you posting pictures of their kid on your classroom story. You can send it in a message to them instead of what their kid is doing. This is super helpful for messaging. Once the parents are connected, you can, it's basically just like email. And then if you click here, you can, right now, the parents can see if you read their message. So, I always, just for my sanity, I disable the red status so they don't need to know. So here, that's just the basic for sending your message. And that's under chats. Okay, so then you have calendar. So this is where you can create events for the whole year, really. There's no limit on how far you go. You click create event. And you can pick a picture. So let's say this is going to be, all right, so let's do a donut. Well, this will be donuts with dads. So then you can type in role model is welcome to come. We'll do guardian. Okay, anyways, you get the end of it. You get a description. It's not all day, so you pick the date and end date and the time. And then if there are signups, so this could be also for conferences. I mean, I don't really use the signups because our school usually, if there is something for them to sign up for, it is done through the school. But this could be done easily for a classroom party. Parents could easily sign up. You just click add a spot and you can type it in, and we only need one create. So, and then sending out reminders. I send out a bunch of reminders just because if they're anything like me, I just need a bunch of reminders, even if it's on a calendar. So then you just click create and it's there. So parents can see the events happening this week and then that are coming up, and then past events. So this is super helpful to have every tool that you might need all in one. I'm going to backtrack really quickly because that goes into class story. I will also send out my newsletter on ClassDojo. I do it on email, ClassDojo, and then I print it out and send it home with kids. So those are 3 different ways that parents can get the newsletter of everything going on in the classroom. Okay, so then we have Dojo Islands, which I'm not going to get into right now because I feel like this is something that we can talk about once the basics are covered. So we're going to skip Dojo Islands for now. So I'm going to go back to classroom. Now that covers just the basic top tools that you have as a teacher. I do want to go ahead and add now if you want to add a specials teacher. So if there is, I know that there were some special teachers that with 1 year in my class, they were having issues with behaviors. And so I invited them to join my ClassDojo classroom so that the points that they give and take away affect the students' Fun Friday points. So if you want to add a co-teacher, you can add the SPED teachers, speech pathologist, you can add the principal, you can add basically any staff in your building, and they can give your students points. So I would add my teacher's email, the coworker that I want to invite to my classroom, and then they now are able to give and take away points. They can talk to parents. Like, I know this was helpful with special teachers who couldn't get hold of parents, and they wanted to know how I was getting a hold of them, and I said they're very responsive on ClassDojo. They work during the day, they can't really answer phones, and I haven't really gotten responses from email, but ClassDojo, they respond. So then that gives the teacher a chance to try to connect with them a different way. And the co-teacher, they can't see my messages to parents. I can't see their messages, so it's just like their own individual email. So these are the settings that you can use for your classroom. So I don't do a class chat. I don't need the students chatting to each other. We're in the class together, so that's when we can talk. Allow families to chat to each other. I just feel like that is the best choice. And I'm pretty sure most districts probably agree with that. If parents want to speak to each other, they can exchange phone numbers and speak on their own personal devices, not on something that is related to school. Personal opinion, if you think otherwise, that's fine. Now I'm going to cover the bottom tabs of your teacher page. So first one is Toolkit. So I have lots of options that are super helpful, again, all on one site. So I have the timer. So this, I can choose how much time is going on. Let's say we'll just do 10. So here's our timer. It goes full screen for the kids, and it's not an overwhelming alarm. It's just right there for them. If I decide as we're going, oh no, the kids probably need some more time, I can click +10. So it just adds 10 seconds. So if I need to keep adding more time because life happens in the classroom and flexibility is key. So that is the timer. Once you're done, you can click the X. The other tool is random. Okay, so this is super helpful so if we're doing carpet time and I have them doing turn to a partner, think, pair, share, I always, every day, every subject, I randomize their partners so that it's always different and it's always switched up. So it keeps them on their toes, and they have no idea who they're going to work with, and they're going to work great with them no matter what. So this is for if you're calling on a student. Let's say, so it's like pulling your sticks. Instead of choosing people who have their hands raised, we just do random pick. And that, obviously, as you know, research shows that that's the best way to call on students. So then you just pick again, and it'll pick a student again. Okay, have them share. Anyways, when you're done with that, you just click the X. So then the group maker is for pairing whatever size group you need. So for me, I'm going to do groups of 2. So it randomly selects it. So then once it's on the screen, I go, okay, find your partner, sit on your carpet spot, go. So then they have all, say you have 10 seconds, 10, 9. And so they quietly, that's where they go to the carpet. So we notice, oh no, Oliver's by himself because we had an odd number. So I'll just then strategically put Oliver in a group I think he'll do well in. Okay, so then when you're done and everyone's where they need to be, you just click X. If you don't want the kids to see the groups they were sorted into in case you need to do a last minute change for some unknown reason, you can keep it on your computer screen or on your phone or on your iPad and then just tell them who they're partnered up with and go, whatever your preference is. So then you have the noise meter. So again, I use the Yacker tracker, but I do know some teachers use this. You allow for the microphone, and then this will track the noise level of how you want it to be. So if the sensitive is going to be really high or really low, this will keep the kids from getting too loud. They want to avoid the red. Next one, directions. So say it's in the morning and you just want to have a little visual reminder. You don't have your own morning slides, then this is a good time to say, good morning. Hang up your backpack. Like this is, and then you can save it and you don't have to type it up again. you can use it every morning and it's already made. So you can say, okay, select your lunch choice. Okay, and I'm not going to go all out because you understand. And then I'm going to say, start now. So here it is. It's up on the whiteboard for all the students to see. Think, pair, share. So these are ones if you just want, you can type your own questions. I didn't really use this just because in our curriculum, like it's a think out loud, but sometimes it's a good icebreaker. You can go over the date, announcements, a welcome message. And the last one is music, which again, I didn't really use. I have my own classroom playlist, but it's of course an option for anyone. So then you have attendance. The students can come in or you can do it. So the next tab we have is portfolios. So portfolio wise, I'm going to cover that more in my next video. I'm trying to keep these shorter than my usual videos, so I will click on it just to give you a little look-see. But this is where we'll see individual student activity. So again, I'll talk more about that in my next video though. Okay, so big ideas. This is super helpful. It's a resource for teachers. So this kind of gives you different things that you can do with your class. There's little videos with the ClassDojo monster, and it talks about different things that maybe are related to things that students go through, talking about having empathy, gratitude, mindfulness, perseverance. This helps students develop their growth mindset, big challenges that they might be going through. It's especially, I don't know about the older kids, but the younger kids, they really enjoy having to watch the monster go through some of the challenges that they go through. So these are just little resources that you can do. So like if I click it, here are the videos, and it talks and gives students little challenges after the video of things that they can do throughout the day to have empathy or gratitude. Then we have amazing ways to use ClassDojo. So besides the things that I'm going to keep talking about, the people who know ClassDojo, the ones who created it, they also have great ideas. So they have sharing student classwork. That again, I will cover, but if you need more information after you watch my video, these are places that you can go. Getting started with ClassDojo story cards. There's different ideas that they'll share with you. So these are just guidebooks for getting started, which is a good place for you to start. Different ideas. So again, that is in the big ideas section. Just something to think about. Now that we are here, I also wanted to cover a couple things. So we went over the account settings. So we have here your edit, your name, security, two-step verification if you feel like your security is needing a two-step verification. Language, so your language, what you would like, so this is helpful for the parents who don't speak English. They can translate anything that you post, and you're going to want them to translate it to English unless your school is has a different main language that they speak. So this one is important. This is for the messages. So this helps kind of keep work at work and your home life is yours. Quiet hours. So this is if parents are messaging you, you can set when you can receive those messages. It also it sends a little message. If a parent tries to message you during quiet hours, it'll let them know that it's your quiet hour time and you won't get it until quiet hours is done. So then the parents can't get angry. They saw that it says it's quiet hours. We are not messaging at 11 p.m. at night. So then also you can mute weekend notifications or not, your preference. I kind of went over the red status. If you read a parent's message and you just don't have time to get back to them yet, then it would say read, and it's up to you. If you feel comfortable having parents then see that you read it but you haven't responded yet. So if you don't want it to say read when you look at a message, then you keep it like this off. So then this is an important one. It's been really helpful and useful for me for data tracking as well, is message history. So you can download just one family's or parents' chats, and you can, if that's something that you need. So say the principal would like to see the conversations you've been having. You can't delete any of them. So they're there and they're not going anywhere. They want to see the conversations. All you have to do is download, print, and give it to them. Comments. I really didn't let a lot of comments happen. Parents only for their kids are in the class story, but I didn't ever really let students comment on other students. Just didn't, especially I was teaching second. I mean, and I wasn't using ClassDojo for a social part because we're in class together. Maybe it'd be different if we were in COVID still and we were online and we don't get to socialize a lot together. So this one I talked about before. We'll let parents request to join the class, which is fine because sometimes you might have used a wrong phone number, email, but you sent that little handout home. And so, or if somebody like a grandma or grandpa, they're actually the ones who are watching the majority of the time. So if you need to contact them, or if they just want to see what's happening throughout the day, they might want to get added on as well. So I always let that slide because you can still approve or deny if they get connected to that student. Of course, if you want to delete your account, there you go. And then privacy and terms. So this is just your account settings.